So this movie, Gravity, has about 2 or 3 characters, I think, maybe 4, in the entire thing. And it has these very prolonged camera shots that seem to go on forever and ever. And also the camera is going like this all the time. And yet, I liked it. A lot. This film is directed by Alfonso Cuaron, who did Y tu mamá también, of course. He also did what I think is by far the best, most interesting Harry Potter film, which is Prisoner of Azkaban. And he directed Children of Men, which, I mean, that is one of my favorite sci-fi films of all time. And I think this is the first film he's directed since Children of Men, so he had a lot of hype. But this one is quite different from that one. This movie, Gravity, is more of a kind of sensory experience. It's more kinetic. Whereas Children of Men was more about social upheaval and making commentary basically on the world, evolution, politics, whether or not Clive Owen looks good with scruff, very important issues. Here he definitely wants to put you in the feeling, he wants to put you right in the middle of the intensity. It's very immersive, and it's almost like he wants to put you in the shoes, literally, of Sandra Bullock, because there are quite a few point of view shots. I do see some correlations to Children of Men, definitely, particularly with what I mentioned earlier, which was the very prolonged camera shot. The shots in this sequence, in the film, there are sequences that just seem to go on for such a long time, and it is wonderful because it really does ground you in the intensity and allows the tension to build more, and it makes it just seem more real. And you have to see this movie in 3D, and I know those words do not come out of my mouth that often, but it's true, you have to, because this movie is not like a typical movie experience, as I've said. It's something that maybe you've never seen before, and you want to feel like the space, because obviously it takes place in space, is all-encompassing. It wants to make you feel, human beings feel very small. You should feel like the debris is flying into your 3D glasses, and you should be, flinching, and you should feel like you're falling into space, and that is mainly, I think, a lot of what the movie is the experience of it. So see it on the biggest screen you can, and in 3D. Does this movie have the depth of Children of Men? No, definitely not, at least not for me. But I do think that there were moments that were quite powerful in Gravity. Particularly, I think just space in general is such an amazing visual metaphor for just how insignificant that human beings can seem at times, but yet we are still grounded in specific emotions, like, what Sandra Bullock is feeling. I mean, she feels not that important and as if her life doesn't mean much on Earth, but yet she still is scared of death, and she still has so many questions, and she feels lonely, and she feels love. All of these things that we just can't distance ourselves from. And that's what makes this movie work, I think, is not just the fact that it's a visual spectacle and it's beautiful to look at, but it has those moments of real intimacy and power, and the characters are interesting. Right from the first 5 minutes, you already know what kind of characters these are. George Clooney is very established, and Sandra Bullock is very established in ways that are not cliche or stereotypical. They feel like real characters. So check this one out if you haven't already, and see it in 3D. Or just see it if you're a big Alfonso Cuaron fan. Again, to me, it's not anywhere near Children of Men, but it's still a very cool experience. Please let me know what you thought of it. Please comment, and you can follow me on Twitter. The link is below. And thank you all for listening.